So we can see Cancer's there in the first house. So this is a Cancer rising's chart. Now Gemini, you can see, is in their 12th house. Okay, so the 12th house is our sort of like hidden psychological side, our mental state, our mind. It can be like our spiritual connection, our connection with God or with religion or something like that. Something that's like outside ourselves or bigger or a higher belief or cause. The 12th house can be deep transformation in the way of like endings as well, and things coming to that completion and that culmination point, and letting go and detaching basically. It's quite a sensitive area too, and quite a psychic and psychological area of our chart too. So maybe that's where you'll be tuning into those sorts of energies and balancing out that mental state and focusing on getting the mental state and the psychological state in a really good place. And that energy focusing in that 12th house for you is definitely about the mind and like the way you process your thoughts and information and how they affect you on a mental level, like your mental emotional state. And it's not so much your emotions from your feelings and your heart and your body, it's that emotional connection with the head and the mind and all that. In that 12th house. So moving away from that 6th house, so it's moving away from, so with that 12th house too, it's like those things that you need to do, like maybe art and creative things, and like writing and journaling and painting and those sorts of things that are gonna like help with those 12th house stuff, and like the escaping with things like fantasy and relaxing and getting away and maybe reading a nice book and all that. Those sorts of things in the 12th house are good too, especially that Gemini reading and absorbing information, but it needs to be on like a level that's not like just learning, growth learning, but more even like just an escape and enjoyable as well on some level. So moving away from that 6th house energy, which is Sagittarius there for you, which is like work and routines and the daily schedule and like health and fitness. So it's like all your focus being on there with like your beliefs and that around that, you know, you must go to bed on time, or I've just said someone else they have to go to bed on time, but for you it might be the opposite. It might be like or you might have had beliefs that you don't have to go to bed on time, you don't have to have good routines and good daily practices, that you can, you know, have a free schedule and do what you want, and do it the Sag way and rock up whenever you want to things, be late, don't have to schedule things, don't have to be organized, don't have to be on time, just be free and go with the flow and all that. Maybe that's not a good part of your schedule to have anymore, and you need to get serious in the sense of moving towards the stuff that helps your mind and balances your mind out, and not away from those beliefs that are holding you back in that 6th house. Or it could just be like, you know, beliefs around like, and old stories that, you know, I can't eat this because it's not good for me, but maybe it is okay for you to eat, you know, and you've been holding back from eating a whole bunch of food groups because you don't feel like they're good for you because of this old belief or story that you've had running in your mind over and over for so long, but it's not necessarily true, and it's like harming you and not actually good for you and beneficial. So things like that. So that's Scorpio energy for you with the Venus there in the 5th house. So that's where the cutting off of, you know, toxic things and relationships that aren't serving us and all that for you in the 5th house. Could be romance, could be like love and romance in the sense of not full-on relationships, but like flings and that. Maybe you know, want to get deeper and, you know, not have those sorts of things anymore. Or it could be in a sense of like hobbies and that, like getting serious and getting real and coming through with new information, ideas of like how you can use your hobbies to like make money, or even like, you know, starting to do some like new hobbies and creative things like that you really like fill your soul, and that like emotional creative aspect in that 5th house Scorpio, like things that like make stepping into you know, being around people and doing things that feel your childlike energy from you, that make you feel in tune with your heart, and, you know, coming from your heart, living from your heart, and you know, doing those things that you did when you're a child that like make you feel good and bring you back to that energy, that childlike, loving, innocent, playful energy there.